Hello, my friend. Hopefully that you are doing great. So in this lesson, I want to share with you one more thing about the testNG. That's how to group the test methods in the testNG. Okay, so given context that you have many test case in your project, right? So for example, in this case, you have two test methods in one class. We call something like login tag class, and that in that login tag class, for example, you have two test methods with the title for something, for example, something like you log in with correct credential, and the second one that you want to make sure that the login button has, it has the red color when mouse hover. So after that, you group the login with correct credential because it's kind of important to your business application based on the, uh, yeah, like any application, I mean, the login feature is very important, right? If you have something like authentication. So you group it into the regression and you want to make sure that it works for smart test before you release. So in this case, you group it to two groups, right? But for something like, checking the UI, something like that, you just want to check in the regression state after you integrate something into your application. And before the release, you don't want to run it again. So that's why you didn't put the smart group into it, right? So in this case, that we want to group those test methods and how can we group them. So in this lesson, again, we are not using anything related to the mobile. Even this is the mobile automation test tutorial because we don't actually need to do something like that. What we need to do that we need to explore the ability from the testNG first, and then we can run something later. Okay, we just need to understand about the theories first. So just go back to your project. In this case, I want to create a new bucket. You can use the old ones if you want, but because I explained for you before, I want to keep the code in the lesson, and then after that I can put into my blog for people who want to read it again. So that's why I want to create a new bucket and keep the new code coming, right? So in this case, I want to under the test bucket, I want to create a new bucket with the name testNG group, right? testNG group, something like that, and then I enter. So in this case, I just want to create one simple class with the name login. Okay. So under this login class, this is a test class, and I want to create two test methods. So I want to import the tag annotation from the testNG here, and then after that, I will create a new public void login with correct credential, right? So I just put something like, I just want to print out something very simple like this, dot class, guest class, dot guest name, or guest simple name, I think. And then I will put something like, maybe I will put something like concat with the login. Maybe I just copy the function name here and then I paste here, right? And then I will create a new test method. So just put another annotation here, publish void, like check the general GUI for login page, or just you just need to put check general GUIs because it's not the real business case. We just want to show a demonstration about this one, so you can create any other methods. Okay, so now the most important part is that we need to specify this test method belongs to smart test and regression test as well. So inside here, you will specify groups. You see groups here, and this group will host at an array of strings. So in this case, I will put something like smart, and then The second one will be regression, right? Regression here, and then, for example, if we, the second one here, we will put something like another group here, and then we will specify this one as a regression test. That means we just need to test it in regression test group here, right? So group regression test is undefined. It doesn't matter, okay? So now I want to create a new testNG source.xml that we had before. So in this case, I will create a new, okay, let me try to copy this one. And then I will rename something like testNG group. Yeah, something like that. And then I hit enter. So in this case, let me try to delete something that we have from previous lesson. Yeah, let me do it real quick. Yeah, pump done. So now I want to change to another test class, right? So it's under the testNG groups, and then I will specify the login here. But here under the source here, I will specify group. You see the succession here, group. So I will include group. I will specify the run, yeah, and then I will include. So the name, the test name here, let me try to close it here. I think I can close it right here, right? So the name here is, I want to run this one for smart test only, right? For smart test only. I just want to run this one so for smart test group only, right? Now I will create a new test configuration here to execute this testNG source, right? So I edit the configuration. Now you see this icon, that means we will duplicate. So in this case, I will duplicate and rename to testNG hooks. Test here, this is the source, and now I want to change this one. So test, control space, you can see testNG hooks learning here. No, that's not the one, testNG group, right? This one. And I want to run this source, right? And click on OK, right? Now, if I execute this test, what I am expecting that just only one this test method will be executed, because this is the only one have, the groups are marked here. So this one just existing in regression group, right? So that means we don't need to, we don't expect is executed in this source, right? This source is just executed for smart test cases, right? So now click on the run button. Just wait a little and then it will be executed. Here you can see. So you can see here we have login with correct credential here, right? And then if you click here, actually this is the only one here. So we have logins. Okay, because I forgot to put something here, so it just sticks with each other. Let's try to run again. Here you can see this is from the login class, and this is the text here. So you can see this is the only method running, right? So now if I try to do something else, like I change something to regression. So what I am expecting right now, that's when I execute this one, power of these test methods will be executed together, right? Because when I specify regression, that means I am expecting that all of the test methods have the groups with the name regression will be executed in this case. So now if I hit to run again, or you can just simple Control R on your keyboard, you can see immediately two test methods are executed, right? It's very simple, right? So go back to the diary here for you, and then you can see that we have many test methods around in your test project, and then just simple, we try to use the groups in the test annotation here, and then you can put an array. So it's an array, but then you can put just only one category here in the test, and then just create a new test source. Try to have something like groups here, the run here. We can include the the test name here, and then you can execute any test. So basically, if you copy the whole content here, and then you have another test suite, but in this case, you can have something like just smart. So the content is just, the same, but you just change by just changing the name here. So we have two separated test suites for two, to test strategy. So when you run regression test, you just need to execute the test suite where it contains this keyword, and then when you before the release, you just want to run the smart, so you just execute the test that includes this the smart keyword, right? So this is all for this lesson today. Try to practice and explore around. Bye for now, and see you in the next lesson. Okay.